What up, what up? Accountable Sports Talk. We're back at it. And so Monday is the start of training camp for full pads.
Big day.
Big day for the Buffalo Bills. And so we're here to talk about the camp battles that we're looking forward to the most.
Yeah.
So how about you get us started off?
I'll get it started. I'll get it started off an easy one.
Yep.
I'm going to go with Josh Norman, Levi Wallace.
Yep.
And I know we've mentioned it in a couple of videos.
Yeah.
But it's really the most important one for our defense.
Oh, yeah.
Our defense was ranked like number 3.
Yep. And Levi Wallace was the obvious weak point of, especially the secondary.
Yeah.
I mean, you got all.
I mean, comparatively to the All-Stars that we had.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
You got
Levi
the All-Pro.
Wallace
You got All-Pro first team at the other corner.
Right.
You got like the two top safety tandem, like.
That work very well with each other.
Yeah, and then like you got Levi Wallace, an undrafted guy, and we've looked to upgrade that.
Mm-hmm. And I sit here and I think about it because like Levi Wallace played, I thought well for what he did last year.
Yeah.
Because he definitely got picked on.
Oh, yeah.
Like if I was trying to beat our defense, like I'm picking on Levi Wallace versus Tre'Davious White and Hyde and Poyer.
Oh yeah, versus going over the middle with them, and or even trying to go over the middle with Tremaine Edmonds with his reach
With
and
his
everything.
reach,
So
even Milano.
Yep.
So
Oh yeah.
So I think Levi Wallace definitely has the upper edge on Josh Norman, only because like we don't have preseason games, and we're going right into the training camp.
Yep.
He knows the defensive playbook with Frazier.
Yep.
So like to me, Levi Wallace has the edge.
Yeah.
Now I sit there and I think about it because like, do I think who's going to play that nickel? It's really like if I don't think you win the opposite corner, do I think you're going to play the nickel?
Right.
I don't think Josh Norman
I don't think he does
can
either.
do either.
No.
Like not saying can't do either. Excuse me, can't do the slot.
Yeah.
So I think that if we want to put our best players forward, I think that if we wanted to play Josh Norman, Levi Wallace, and Tre'Davious White,
Yep.
I think they would play Josh Norman at the opposite, and then Levi Wallace as our nickel corner. But you can't take out Taron Johnson.
No.
You can't take out Saron Neal.
Nope.
Because we play that like big nickel package.
Yep. Absolutely.
So when I sit there and I think about it, I think Levi Wallace ends up winning it. Only because he's been a part of our team.
Yep.
If this was Josh Norman 5 years ago, Josh Norman,
Oh yeah.
I think Josh Norman now doesn't have
Yeah.
his athletic ability to handle with these wide receivers where a young Levi Wallace
Yeah.
can.
So the flip side of that though is Josh Norman is now only going against number 2s.
Yeah.
He's always been a number 1 corner. Like probably his first couple of years before he became the Josh Norman that we know. He was probably going against lesser competition, but his last year, his All-Pro year in Carolina, he's the number 1 guy.
Yeah, and he's back to that original system, which is very interesting.
In Washington, he was the number 1 corner going against number 1 guys. So now he is going against number 2s where I would take Josh Norman, even though he is older, against number 2s because he's just done it before at a higher level than we've ever seen Levi Wallace perform at.
Right. I mean, but last year was Levi Wallace's really his first true season.
Yeah.
And I know he was an undrafted rookie, but he was an
That's
undrafted.
why you can't really count his first season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was an undrafted rookie from Alabama who has got heck of an athlete. I mean, who knows what Levi Wallace would have been for Auburn or another college.
Yeah.
But to me, like, he had that first year. He had 2 interceptions. I know his last one was against, like, the Jets in that final game. But he does the right things.
Yeah.
I mean, but, again, that repetition. Like, I don't think... You know what? Yeah. I think whoever wins this battle wins it. And I think you see Taron Johnson still as your nickel.
Yeah. I don't think any of them kick inside to play the nickel.
Right.
I think you have just good depth behind whoever
goes down for an injury or needs a rest.
Needs a breather after doing 3 fly routes, you know.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, definitely. So
you have Norman and I have Wallace.
I do have Norman. Yep.
And I think you'll see that a lot. I think you'll see a lot of people kind of juggling who we want.
You might even see a lot of rotation in between series of those two, kind of like how they did at the beginning of the year with Ford and Nasecki. You would see the rotation of them on different offensive series.
Yeah, and maybe we might sit there and think that maybe with Norman being a thicker corner, that he might, like, if there's a thicker wide receiver, maybe he might get more of the snaps versus Levi Wallace certain games.
Yeah. So, interesting you bring that up. I saw on Twitter, Levi Wallace won Buffalo Bills most improved lifter
Wow.
award.
Okay.
Yeah. So Levi Wallace, he knows competition's coming.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I
It's
like Levi Wallace. I mean, yes.
Yeah, I want him to fight too, but Josh Norman brings that swag.
I know.
You know,
Yeah,
like
I agree with you. That talk.
that dog, like in your face.
Because sometimes I think your best competition is getting in someone's head.
Oh yeah, mental. And
You
Josh
can
Norman
definitely
gets
tell
in
Josh Norman
people's heads.
Yeah.
Just ask OBJ.
Right.
And Tre'Davious White even like got into OBJ's head,
yeah.
or Jarvis Landry's head. Whereas like Tre'Davious White, as good as he is, he doesn't talk.
No.
He
just goes out
lets
and
his
does his
game
work.
talk for him. He is not a vocal corner at all.
No. Which is very surprising because most corners in
Are
my
vocal.
head are vocal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they talk shit.
Yeah, they do.
So yeah. So one of my interesting camp battles is the bottom half of our receiver core.
Oh, yeah.
So you got your obvious. You got Diggs. You got Brown. You got Cole Beasley. You got,
To me, those are your safe three.
yeah, and you got Andre Roberts. Even though I hate it, I do. I really hate it. But Andre Roberts for a kick returning, punt
For
returning,
special teams,
he's
there.
safe. So you got 4. The next 2 or 3, depending on how many they keep, is interesting because.
And I think they keep 2.
Yeah. So you think they keep 6?
I think they keep 6 wide receivers.
So if you go by 6, that's Gabe Davis because he was a 4th round pick.
Yeah.
That's got to be Gabe Davis with a 4th round pick. Then that means it's one spot and it's Duke versus Hodgins versus McKenzie versus Foster versus I think there's another one that I'm missing, but those are your main 4 really. And Hodgins was drafted. Granted, late. I think we used an extra 6th or 7th on him.
Yeah.
But you don't draft players to cut them.
No.
Like I just feel like unless they come in there and just absolutely blow up like a Austin Prohl or Ray McLeod,
Yeah.
like you don't draft players to cut them. You draft players to develop them.
Develop. Yeah.
So it's McKenzie. I think is the odd man out just because he only did end arounds.
Yeah.
You can do end arounds with Diggs. You can do end arounds with John Brown. You can do ends arounds with Davis possibly. And if McKenzie isn't going to be a returner, I don't see a spot for him. So and then Foster, just because he had the huge letdown last year compared to his first year, an undrafted guy. We don't really have a lot spent in him. I think he's out too. So I think it becomes Duke versus Hodgins, the big wide receiver battle, really, because you saw Duke and Josh Allen's rapport grow from like the first game he played. He got a touchdown catch in Tennessee. Never saw him the rest of the year until the playoff game. I think Allen targeted him 10, 12 times.
Yeah, he got the most target in that game.
Like so that means like Allen likes bigger receivers or is just more comfortable like trying to throw a bigger receiver open. I'm not really too sure what it is. But so it's definitely, in my opinion, Duke versus Hodgins. I'm going to give Duke the upper hand because Hodgins has not gone through any rookie camps and anything. So whereas Duke, I mean, he had a year with Allen and now he's going to have going into a second year. He's more of a savvy vet.
Yeah, I agree with you. See, I see Duke making the team. I can see us trying to part ways or trade McKenzie and Foster or Foster, like trying to get some kind of draft value. There's a lot of teams that lost a lot of wide receivers, especially during this COVID. Now pending like injuries during camp. Like I think we're going to try to keep those guys pending any injuries.
Yeah. For instance, there's been a lot of talk with the Packers.
Right.
Funches, they're one of their wide receivers that they went out in free agency, opted out. They got really no one behind Devontae Adams. I mean, Scantling and the other one. I mean, they just haven't developed. And like they didn't draft a single wide receiver. So I would like wave that in front of the Packers, being like,
and
hey,
even still, if you get like anywhere between a 5th and a 7th, to us, if we're gonna like, if it's just between a roster spot, like that's an increase for us.
Yeah, if you're gonna cut him anyway, and if you can flip an undrafted guy to a pick.
Yeah.
That's gold.
To me, I think they try to trade Foster.
Yep.
They cut McKenzie. They cut Hodgins. And I hate saying cut Hodgins, but I think both of those players go to our practice squad.
Yeah. I could absolutely
Like
see.
that's what I think, and I think Duke Williams is more valuable to us.
Yeah.
Versus, versus McKenzie, where I think like Andre Roberts could easily do that end around what we were doing with McKenzie.
Yeah, because like Andre Roberts had very little offensive snaps. I'm not saying like increase his offensive snaps, but I'm saying that he could easily, like you're
have
saying,
done that role that McKenzie did
Yeah.
for those 10 snaps he was out there,
Right.
5 snaps that he was out there.
Right, because Andre Roberts, for a stat, had less offensive snaps than Zay Jones.
Right.
Zay Jones, we like traded after like the 4th week. Mm-hmm. Andre
Yeah, but-
Roberts played 16 games.
Yeah, I know. And was out there for special. I mean, I get he was a special teams player, but you're an athlete.
Right.
If
You're a wide receiver.
Yeah. If we feel that you're more comfortable getting the ball and trying to get the ball in your hands to make moves,
Yeah.
As-
End around was
hike
perfect.
and hand.
Yeah.
Or what do they do? That lateral toss, so that way if he drops, it's an incomplete.
Yeah.
That to me is like there's no reason why you can't teach
Absolutely.
Roberts that play.
Yep. Absolutely. I
Yeah.
fully agree with you.
I agree with you. I
Yeah.
can see that.
And then Hodgins trying to get on our practice squad. I mean,
Yeah,
we
he
talked
was
about
a 7th round draft, or
Yeah.
6th or 7th. I can't remember.
right. We talked about this. 32 teams passed on him multiple rounds.
Yeah.
Like I don't see a team being like, I want that guy off the practice squad and I'm going to put him on our
To not even just like that, you put him on your current roster.
yeah.
Like you can't steal from someone's practice squad and put them
Just
on a
put 'em on
practice,
a practice
squad.
squad, yeah.
They have to be on the 53-man roster the whole season pending a COVID
Yep.
test.
Yep. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think we keep Duke, cut Hodgins, and put him on the practice
Yeah.
squad. Try to trade Foster and McKenzie's the
But
odd man
that
out.
like Duke Williams is going to be an interesting like thing because like I can't see why Diggs, Brown, and Beasley aren't on the field
yeah.
pending an injury.
Yep.
And then Knox is your fourth fourth
option.
third
Yep.
or fourth option. Like thinking about a 4 wide receiver set, like I would hope Davis is out there.
Yeah.
But again, Davis is a rookie,
Yeah.
no preseason,
Only known for running fly
fly
routes.
routes. I could see Duke Williams sneaking in that 4th
Yeah.
wide receiver, and possibly if Josh Allen threw to him that many times in the postseason,
Mm-hmm.
I would not be surprised if maybe Duke Williams maybe snacks over more snaps over Cole Beasley,
Yeah.
especially for that. Like you could do so many more things with him, and like you could like you think so many times with Dawson Knox is like that over the middle type player.
Mm-hmm.
He could do different routes now, taking a linebacker, taking the safety away,
Yep.
and swooping in Duke Williams right in the middle,
Yeah.
and having a
Doing like a
nickel
deep
corner
dig or- yep.
yeah, taking over that middle side of the field so that way
Yeah.
Josh Allen can hit him.
Yeah, because I mean, you got a 6'3" wide receiver running over the middle, like being guarded by your third or fourth wide,
Well, that's what I'm saying.
third or fourth corner.
Right.
Who's
You're
probably
going to put a strong
5'9".
safety, maybe a line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's going to be interesting to see what they do, but that's what I see.
Yep, absolutely. So who do you got? Who else do you got for a battle?
Another position battle I have is like the offensive line is like especially now with Feliciano
Yep.
out for
Probably the first 8 games. They're probably
Yeah.
going to put him on the IR.
and then
designate.
pending his recovery.
Yep,
it
designated to
might be
return.
the whole season.
Yeah.
So this is where it's going to be interesting. Like I think Cody Ford sticks at right tackle, but I can see us being like, you know what? Maybe we should try Cody Ford down at guard, and then having a position battle between Darrell Williams and Ty Nashesky at right tackle, and Brian Winters kind of competing with Cody Ford at the guard.
Yeah.
Or I could see again Brian Winters
Yep.
getting that right guard, and then having a position battle with Cody Ford, Ty Nashesky, and Darrell Williams
Yeah.
at that right tackle.
Yep. Absolutely. I see it the same way too. I mean, it's going to be interesting come Monday to see how the coaches view it, because like we can sit here and speculate, oh, we want to see Cody Ford inside, maybe we'll let him grow outside. Like when it comes down to it, it's all the coaches.
Oh, yeah.
Monday we'll see. We'll see whether Cody Ford's getting rotated at guard or not. And so, but like I hope to be honest with, like I am on the Cody Ford guard train just because I think he becomes a Pro Bowler at guard.
Yeah.
Whereas at right tackle, I think he's top 15 right tackle instead of like a top 10 right guard.
Yeah.
So
See, I actually think that Cody Ford stays at right tackle. I think you'll see those random rotation with Ty Nashesky.
Yeah.
Maybe if Cody Ford gets a little tired or something like that. And then you got Brian Winters comes right at guard.
yeah, yeah,
That is what I see.
yeah,
Only because, like, I feel that I mean, Darrell Williams. I mean, a lot of people like speculate Darrell Williams. Well, yeah, Darrell Williams was on the Panthers.
Yeah.
But Darrell Williams literally played like guard, tackle.
Yeah, he was a swing
Like
man.
I could
He
see
played
Darrell
everywhere.
Williams literally like learning each position that
Yep.
tackle and guard and being like a rotational guy for that.
Yeah.
Ty Nashevsky, I think he's a quality player, but he's 30, 31.
He's up there higher. He's 33, 34.
Yeah, or even older.
Yeah.
And I think this is his last year on his contract. Same thing with Brian Winters and Feliciano.
Yeah, 1 year contract.
But
Yep.
I just see this Brian Winters and Cody Ford. That's what in my head. That's what's going to be.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to make more out of it. I wouldn't be surprised if they put like Cody Ford in at guard just to see what he does.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
So the logical thought is keeping Ford at right tackle and only switching out for line continuity one position
Right.
instead of two
Trying
positions.
to do two positions.
And I think that is maybe even their thought too, because they went after a starting caliber guard instead of a starting caliber tackle. Like Brian Winters has started for the Jets the last 5 seasons, 6
Right.
seasons, only missed a handful of games. I think he had one big injury, but I mean, last year played every game.
Yep.
I mean, so he is a starter at guard.
Yeah.
And so I think maybe people aren't looking at that enough, and like maybe our coaches are even hedging their bet, like without even saying like, "Hey, Cody Ford's our right tackle. Stop talking about it."
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they want to go out and state that because,
Right.
I mean, you shouldn't go out there and state the certain players are your starters only because, like, training camp and
Then they might get
everything-
complacent.
Right. Exactly. Not compete as well as they should.
Yep.
So,
So yeah, no, it'll be interesting, especially like we said, come Monday to see. Like I'm assuming the first line out there is going to be Winters then Ford, but what is the line number 2?
yeah.
You know?
I see. Yeah, I see.
Is
Day
Ford
one.
like getting thrown into guard, or is he getting arrested?
See,
like,
I
Darrell
would be
Williams coming
interested
at
come
tackle?
like the third day. Like I think day one we come out there with Dawkins,
Spain,
Morris, Winter,
Yeah.
and then Ford,
Yeah.
and then I wouldn't be surprised maybe day 3 or something like that to throw something like
Maybe do
interesting
some
out there.
rotations,
Yeah,
yeah.
like we're just gonna give Darrell Williams some practice times at right tackle.
Yeah, right.
Well, we're just seeing Ford at guard, but no, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
I could see us doing like something weird like that, like day 3 to day 5 versus between your first 2 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, after the winter signing, I'm rooting for him, knowing now that like he's from like the Buffalo area, like aunt and uncle in Orchard Park. Parents used to live in East Aurora. Like the way he talked about like being in Buffalo, like I'm almost rooting for him. To,
Right,
like,
exactly.
To start for us.
Like no wonder why and he said it, like Buffalo's the hardest place. Like anyone outside of like the AFC East will be like, oh, it's Buffalo, but anyone who plays in the AFC, plays in Buffalo, knows the fans that we have,
Yeah.
and why it's a difficult place
Yeah,
to play.
they know. They know that it's a difficult place. And he even said, he's like, I'm glad that Buffalo's on my side now.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, definitely. So, offensive line is definitely going to be a big one to definitely look out for, just to see those rotations and to see, like, snap counts and like
Snap
that.
counts, definitely.
So, my last one I have is Bass versus Hauschka.
And I think that's on everyone's mind.
Yeah, that's an obvious one. I mean, I think it was evident that like the Bills were trying to not replace Hauschka, but start a fire under him to get him to play better. They brought in competition last year. He won out, but he didn't play as well. And then it was, it's because he's on the last year of his contract. We gave him a contract extension, but he still didn't play as well. From 40 and in, I'm confident. But, I mean, there's a lot of games when we were 40 and out, and in previous years, I think we would have kicked it. Like, the one game that stands out is the Browns game.
Yeah.
And we went for it on 4th down a lot in that game, and I think it was because of our confidence wavering in Hauschka for making kicks.
I agree with you, because I felt like years previous to last year, like, I was confident when Hauschka went up to kick the ball.
Yeah.
Last year, I mean, you and I went to that Dallas game.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, come on. Make it.
Jesus, we're in a dome.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
There's no wind,
Yep.
and you're still missing it.
Yep.
So, I think that's where the issue comes from.
Mm-hmm.
And we invested a 6th
round
round
pick.
on Tyler Bass.
Yep.
So, I don't see him as a starter day 1,
No.
but I wouldn't be surprised if we cut him and keep him on a practice squad.
Yep.
And if Hauschka,
Starts to waver.
first couple games isn't
Yep.
doing what he should be doing,
Yep.
I would not be surprised if we bring up Tyler Bass, keep Hauschka in our practice, or not practice squad, keep him on our team, and see if Bass does something.
Yeah.
But this is an interesting battle.
Oh yeah, definitely because it's a starting position, and you're talking about a rookie kicker coming in versus like a wily veteran like that's been reliable for his career until
Right.
he was having some issues last year.
And I think what edges Tyler Bass, I think something that helps Tyler Bass is that there's no fans in the stadiums.
Yeah, that definitely is.
Like you hear that hollering, the quiet, like your whole game's gonna be quiet outside of you getting hit. Like
it's going to be like practice.
Yeah.
And if you can perform in practice, like that's essentially how you're going to be kicking in games.
Mm-hmm. So I think it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Like maybe Tyler Bass might like jump Hauschka, and I got
Just because of the way this year's going to go.
Another trade for Hauschka or a trade for Hauschka, you get some draft value or something.
Yeah. Yeah, because kicker is definitely like.
We saw it last year.
Oh.
The Jets, the Bengals.
Yep, the Jets, the Bengals, the Titans. I think the Giants kicker even missed some.
We won those games because of missed field goals.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Kicker is a very important position.
Yeah, kicker is an important position. If we have that much confidence in Tyler Bass, especially towards the end of training camp, I could see us trying to trade Hauschka.
Right. Just for something.
Yeah. Give me a 5th round pick. Give me a 6th round pick. Give me it next year. I don't care. If I'm going to cut him, might as well.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know you and I have both talked about two things. My last one I'm going to bring up is our defensive ends.
Yeah.
And I think that's like an obvious one.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people are talking about the position battles between Trent Murphy, Mario Addison, but I think it's going to be like who's going to get the most snaps.
Yeah. Who are your starters? Who are you keeping?
Right. Because there's a lot of players that can play. Daryl Johnson, who we drafted 2 years ago.
Yep.
We
expected big things from him last year. Didn't really work out, but he was also he was playing on special teams too. He was running down there. I mean, and he's young, where our defensive ends are on the older side.
Especially Jerry Hughes, who hasn't been Jerry Hughes.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, like I think Jerry Hughes starts.
Yep.
And then the opposite side, call me crazy, I'm picking Trent Murphy.
You're picking Trent Murphy?
Just to start.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I think Mario Addison gets the most snaps between them. And then Epinesa rotates with Hughes.
Yeah. I could see it. And then, so Daryl Johnson is going on like a practice squad?
I think we keep Daryl Johnson. I think those are our 5 defensive ends.
5 defensive ends. And then you're keeping 5 defensive tackles too?
Yeah, 4. Butler, Phillips, Oliver, and Jefferson. I think you put Taylor on your practice squad.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
That's what I see.
I could see that then.
And I think Love makes the practice squad.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That's what I see because, like I think Hughes is too valuable. He starts. Matt Addison
with the contract extension too. He starts. Otherwise, you're eating a lot of dead.
That's what I'm saying. Like that Murphy's on his last year.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought he was going to get cut. You still think he's going to get cut?
I do.
I actually think he's going to start only because Leslie Frazier and McDermott must really like him.
Yeah.
That's in my mind why.
Right.
And he played a lot of snaps during the postseason.
Yeah.
I mean, he was there almost making the sack against Watson, but missed a couple times, which pisses me off.
Right. See, I think it becomes I think Trent Murphy is a camp body for just rotation aspects, and then I think it's Jerry Hughes, Mario. Like, you don't give a guy $10 million a year to play backup. Like, in my opinion, like Mario.
So with Murphy,
because we thought he was going to be better.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Murphy. This is Murphy's last year.
Yeah.
So like, with Lou Tulele gone,
yeah,
I think you just add another quality starter.
Right. But like, I think you do Hughes and Mario Addison with rotations of Epinesa, Daryl Johnson, and Quentin Jefferson.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
So I think it's 4 and 4, and then Quentin Jefferson is just your swing guy.
Swing guy between the two.
Yeah. Going back and forth.
Well, I mean, that's essentially what I picked.
Yeah.
I just picked Murphy staying.
Yeah. You just picked like an extra player. Yeah. Whereas like I'm going like 8, you're going 9. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, then yours would be 4 and 3 with Jefferson rotating.
Where do you have Jefferson playing?
You just said 4-4 with him rotate with
Yeah, because you got
swinging.
Jefferson,
So you're
Butler,
counting Jefferson
Harrison.
as a defensive tackle.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's 280 pounds or
See,
290.
that's why I don't think he really plays defensive end much.
I think he does it for like running downs, like 1st and 10.
Yeah, but why would you have Trent Murphy? Well, obviously you're not picking Trent Murphy.
Exactly.
Well, you have Epinesa.
He's a rookie.
Yeah, well, rookie second round.
Yeah. Who was projected a first round.
Yeah.
So
That's what I'm saying. Like in my mind,
yeah. So,
It's a
but
good one.
I think like the first couple of weeks until like Epinesa gets used to the game.
yeah. Though that's the toughest part.
Yeah.
I mean, it took Ed Oliver like
Half the year.
half the year to really get the most snaps for a
Yeah.
defensive tackle.
And to really show out. I mean, he didn't get his first sacks for the first couple of games.
Yeah.
And then like Dallas, like in November, I mean,
He really showed what
Yeah.
he had.
yep.
Yeah.
So, so that's why I think like Quentin Jefferson comes trotting out there, maybe even starting for your running downs. You know, like
You
1st
think
and
so?
10, 2nd and 8. Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah. So that's the camp battles. Let us know if there's any other ones that you want to talk about.
Yeah. Throw a comment, please.
Yeah, we're always answering comments. So follow us on Accountable Sports on Facebook, YouTube, and we'll see you guys next time.